Is it possible to earn from paid service in any language, no matter where you live? Or what do you actually do if you want to earn by taking paid service, but most of the service you are offered are in a language you do not actually understand? My name is Michael and I've tested hundreds of different paid service sites and taken thousands of online service, and I keep getting these questions from people that, for example, are traveling or live abroad in a country where they do not necessarily speak the local language, and they want to earn by taking paid service but keep getting the service in the local language, and they ask me, what can I do? I just want them, for example, in English or another language or so. So therefore, because I keep getting this question, I wanted to record this video where I show the best possible method to deal with this and show some platforms that gives the best options for this. So first, one thing I want to make completely clear is that, for example, if you live abroad or if you live in a country where you want service in another language or so, do not try to cheat by faking your country by using a VPN. The service sites, they know people are trying to use this to cheat it. They have so much fraud that they have very strict security. So if you use a VPN, they will find out and they will end up banning you. So do not try to get around it that way. And the reality is just that usually there's not like all service sites where you can just choose specifically, I just want, service in English, for example, if you live in an Arabic speaking country but don't really know the language, or live in Thailand but don't know Thai and just want English service. There's not like a bulletproof solution for that, but there are some platforms that do offer you to choose the language. Not many, but there are some. I will show you examples. And then there's also an extra trick that you sometimes can use on all other platforms. And then if all that fails also on some platforms, then I will also tell you a little bit about what else you can do. But let's start by going over some of the platforms that I have come across, some of the few ones that actually does allow you to choose the language. So one of the sites that does offer you to choose the language is Prime Opinion. And just be aware that in general, the ones that you can choose, it is not that you can come and say like, okay, I live in this country, I want to take in that language. Of course, it's very specific. But for example, if we look here, in the US, you can choose two languages, Spanish and English. But also, for example, Canada, you can choose between English and French. But if we also come down, for example, to India, then here you could choose English. If we say Malaysia, then you can choose like Malay, I think this is, and English. And the same like in Singapore, there's a couple of different languages. Thailand, there is only one there. So no, it's not that you can completely freely choose, but there are some of the countries, for example, also UAE there, where you can choose. Philippines, you can choose the languages. And in general, when you then choose that, most of the service will be in that language, the platform itself will be, but there's no guarantee that they all will be. But they do have different panels for the different languages in some of these platforms here. For example, Prime Opinion. Another one here is Heycast. It works the same way. You can choose these countries. Some of them have different languages you can choose from if you want to. You just need to make sure to do this when you actually sign up. And if we just jump on to another one, the YouGov, you can see they also sometimes have that. Some countries where you can choose different languages. If you just scroll down, for example, Indonesia, they have it here. They have it also in Lebanon. They have it in Malaysia, in all these things. But in general, for the platforms I mentioned here, I will also leave links below to full tutorials there. Also, I have like links directly to the sites where you can choose the different countries, different languages and things like that. But these are three good options. Another one here is also Surveyor. You see they have some of them. For example, here, Sudan, you can choose a couple of different languages. Singapore, you can choose a couple of different languages. Saudi Arabia has some options. Qatar, so you just need to always, when you sign up, make sure to choose this. The last option I want to show you is Tuluna Influencers. They also have it in different languages. Sometimes you see, for example, for UAE, they have in different languages and a few other platforms as well. So these are the best ones that I have come across that actually have this option when you sign up to choose like, okay, I want to do it in this language in the country. So that means like, for example, if you live in a country like Malaysia and you don't speak Malay, then there are some platforms like this where you can choose like, okay, I want to sign up for the English platform, and then you should mainly receive English service like that. But if you can't join any of these, or if that option is not there, because it's still quite limited what you can choose, let's now talk about another option that you sometimes also can use on basically all service sites. So one option you have is to install an extension, for example for Chrome, if you have a Chrome, like a Google Translate, because you have it there and then you can just right click, or you can also install it in your browser as you have here, and then you can translate the whole page and it will do it automatically. Some service, there's something with how they're set up, so they don't allow you to do it, but some of them can do. Sometimes the language might not be perfect, but in many cases you will be able to understand it and take the surveys, even if it's in a language you don't understand. It's not an ideal solution that always works, but it can be a way to do it. But in case you think this is too much hassle, or the platforms that I showed you are not really working for you, then let's talk about what else you can do. So if what I've shown you here doesn't really work for you, then the only other option you have is really to just focus on other ways to make money online, because there are so many free ways to make money online than just paid surveys. So if you live in a country, you can't find the right service in the right language, all these things there in general, even if you love paid service and you can take them in your country in that language and whatever, it's always good to combine it with different methods. And there are so many different ways to earn online for free, and like data entry, micro tasks, playing games, all kind of ways. I do actually have a video also where I talk about like a lot of different free ways, like an ultimate guide video about the many different free ways to earn online. I will leave a link to that below also, so you can check that out for more inspiration. And then also I will leave links to these platforms I talked about here, full tutorials of them. You can find joining links for the different countries in the different languages and all that, so you can easily get started if there are some of them you want to join. But no matter what, I hope this video helped you, and if it did, make sure to hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel and hit the notification bell so you won't miss out next time I release a video with tips and tricks about different ways to make money online.